Hi, chat. Welcome to the stream. What's up, guys? Today we're going to be doing VTuber rigging. Oh, whoops. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Oh, no. I clicked the wrong button, chat. I clicked it. Whoops. I opened it. It wants to update. There's a new update to Live 2D, but I don't want to update it until I actually finish the commission I'm working on, because I don't like to do it in between projects. So it was asking me if I wanted to go to the site to update it, and I do not. Anyway, so here we go. Oh, guys, I've been working on this some more, and oh boy, let me put myself back down here in the corner. I'll make myself a little. There we go. Okay, so I've been working on this some more. We're actually really close to being done with like all the XYing, like totally done with it all. We do have some things to do, but for the most part, we're pretty close to being finished with this, which I think is great. Yeah, it's cool. So the last thing that I was doing, and what we have to do a little bit before I actually get to physics, is I was dropping in these. Well, actually, I guess this will be physics, because that's what we're going to use to make these. But anyway, we're gonna apply physics to the eyes and stuff up here. So if I go to my next set and subsequently, no, head Z, that's what it is. And my head XY, and we go to eyes. Somewhere in here, that'll be in face. I, XY. What we're working on is we're working on getting these parts here. Hold on, I'll get there in a minute. Oh, it's not. It's in iris XY. I'm so crazy. Yeah, it's actually in this part. So in iris roll, we have these. We have the heart eye toggle and the sparkle eye toggle. And these are, I think if I remember right, hold on, let me pull up my reference sheet here. But if I remember right, these are supposed to be individual toggles that she can turn on and off. Oh dear. And yeah, let's see. Rim rotates when blinked. Highlight when really happy. Surprised. Can we have these behave like this? She gave me a color palette too. Maybe that was on the list. Anyway. Kind of like ears. And then that happens when that happens. Okay. So basically, these will each be toggles that we can turn on, but I still have to rig them so that they work inside of the eyes. Is part of it. So what we have to do is we have to go in here and we have to rig these. Now these are already in the iris parts, like the iris deformer, and I can show you what that does. So you can see it's already getting this level of physics applied to it, this squash and stretch, but it's not really doing much of anything here when we do this. And the reason for that is because if we go here, don't these, yeah, see those already have it. And if I go to like, and then the pupil has its own, you see? And so these would basically be akin to pupils, which is why they're moving. Now with the irises here, the iris highlights, we just give it its own because that's not going to move on anything else. We could do the same thing with these. And then it just depends on if we want it to be on this level or if we want it to have some other type of thing. Which one makes it rotate? That one rotates that, and then this one rotates the camera. And those don't. Oh, because that's the eye, right? Physics. Yeah. So that's for the right eye then, basically. Right, because we'll do something separate for each one. I do have to keep that in mind for how I do this, because I need to do both of them at once for both of these things. Okay, so what we're going to do then is we're going to, and I need to do something down here real quick if this will let me. Drawing monitor. Turn on? Huh? Oh, because I don't have anything selected. Okay, so turn it off, but then... Or does it just grab... Oh, so drawing monitor just grabs it. Yeah, okay. Well, that's fine. We could do that. Yeah, okay. Anyway, sorry. I was messing with technical stuff. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to give... I think I want it to have rotation on the third one. And this is going to be the one that spins this one. So I'm going to give it rotation here on this. No, not a single keyform. Sorry. 3 keyforms. And what we're going to do is we're going to spin it like what we do with this. Because I like the idea that it already squash and stretches a little. I could push it a little bit more on that. But it already does this, which I think is probably good enough there. But I want it to spin. So when we go this way, it spins in and then out. So I'm thinking when we're over here, we're going to have it spin this way. And then when we're here, we'll have it spin the other way. And that should get kind of a cool effect going. And then we'll do the same thing, but on the other one here. So if we go to Iris Roll R, open all this stuff up, go to this one, and on the R physics, give it 3 keyforms. And then this one should actually be reversed, I believe, because this is spinning that way, and then this is spinning this way, yeah. So this is, of course, going to rotate this way. And then this will rotate the other way. So it's kind of got this motion going on. I think that'll be cool. Let's see what that looks like. So if you have the toggle turned on, which I will make a parameter for later. Yeah, I think that's good. So it kind of just like rotates a little bit along with the sensor. Yeah, see? So like that's, we're not making new physics for this. We're just applying the old ones, but I think that works great. So we have that. So what we'll do is we'll do that for that one. I think we'll do something else for the sparkle eyes just because, and let's toggle them off up here actually. So sparkle, heart eyes toggle is going to be off. We're going to turn these on. We'll do something different for these. So of course we're going to do this. Now, is this still getting applied? Squash and stretching is still happening here. Why is that not clipped properly? That's so weird. I know I clipped those. Didn't I? Yeah. Okay, well that's strange. It's clipped to the sclera. That's so weird. I guess because it can still appear there. But it's weird that it has a higher draw order than that one. Huh. It must be above that. It's above that here, that's why. Okay, wait. So then I need this to be in front of, like, under this. No, I need it to be above. Oh, that's hard. I can't do that. Okay, so I need to fix this with rigging, basically. All right, that's fine. So essentially what we're going to do is here, when it squishes, I need it to squish further down, is essentially what it is. Because it's not a problem when it's like this. It's just a problem here. So we will need to give this, both of these. We'll need parameters under these. This is LP. I need one for right as well. Here we go. Okay. So both of these guys, well, actually, no, I'm sorry. No, I'm wrong. This one will get 3 parameters here for this motion. And then what does this one do? This one does kind of like a spin. I think I'm going to give the stars 3 different parameter values for this. So let's see. We'll start by fixing this. So when it shrinks, we'll shrink the star a little. Just so that it gets a little smaller. And here I'll just kind of add a little bit more to this. So we get that kind of effect. So we'll start with that. And we'll do that to the other side as well. Great part about physics is that it doesn't really have to be an exact science. It's just got to be kind of close. So there we go. So we got that happening now, which I'm pretty fond of. Okay, and then here, we'll also give it 3 keyframes. And I think what we'll do is we'll squish it this way. Okay. But then when it stretches, I'm going to make it stretch in the opposite direction. So it'll go kind of like this. Which should give kind of like a twinkly kind of effect, I'm thinking. I think that's what it will do. Maybe. And then we'll do the same thing here. So when it goes down, we're going to shrink it this way. And this way. And then when we go to here, we're going to stretch it out this way and this way. Gonna have that kind of thing happening. Okay. And then I also want it to spin a little. So 3 parameters here. And it's going to spin in the opposite direction to the way everything else is spinning. Do 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 do. Alright, I gotta wait for it to blink. I don't know if all those are being applied or not properly, but I mean, but it looks good at least, so that's fine. Alright, so I think that's fine. We might mess with those more later, but at least for now, they're integrated into the eyes properly where they're supposed to be. So we're going to move on for today. Like so. So there we go. because that's really what we want to happen there. So let's file, save this. There we go. Very good. I'm fairly happy with that. Nice, nice, nice. All right. So I'll go ahead and update y'all on some of the things that I've changed since the last time. Let me actually hold on. I've got to do that from here. So, sorry, that's the eyes. If we go back to angle X and Y here, I can show you. This is the movement we have going on so far. So all of the hair is X wide now. The body is still not, but we'll get there. There's something else we're gonna do first. And there are a couple other things that we have to do kind of edits to, like what we were doing with the eyes to XY real fast. But I would say the head's looking a lot better now. I may still go back and do hair sculpting at the end, potentially, of everything. I know I've been talking about that like only the past, 3 times that we've done stream. What is that? Oh, that's actually broken. What? This is back there long. 4. Okay, I have noticed there is a part of the hair that's broken. Hold on, let me fix that. But anyway, we've gotten pretty far here on everything working. Back here long is this. And this is in this corner. It's kind of popping out in both corners though. Let's just slide that back in there. I see. It's not really supposed to... I'm kind of breaking it here because it's not really supposed to go that far out. I kind of like it being that far out, though. If I pull this out and then push this back some more. I don't know that that really does what I want. I'm not a fan. Whatever. Motion mirroring. Okay. Now this should be the same. No, actually, it's still broken over here. Okay, well... beggars can't be choosers, guys. Okay, that's better. Still slightly annoying, but it's better. Is it breaking here, too? Just slightly on that side. Okay. Alright. That's fixed now. So there are still some areas where I might like to do some hair sculpting, but for the most part, it is looking very good, I think, on the different angles. I also did a face line disappear. You can see that happening when we look up like this. The line around her face vanishes. That's a cool technique that you can do. So I think it's looking pretty good so far with the way that it's moving. Some hair sculpting stuff I'll probably will still go back and do. I know I've been, like I said, I've been talking about that since I started doing XYing for the hair, but I probably will touch that a little bit later. Things also start breaking when we start doing this, but we'll fix that later. Don't worry. So now we got to put a couple more things into the XYs, just where they need to go, and clip them to where they need to go and make sure that they're following the path right. But at that point, we can move on to rigging the mouth, which is going to be the next thing. And I actually have to refer to a video for that. Sorry, I'm at my desk. I actually have to refer to a video for most of that, so I'm going to have to do that. But, it is what it is. So, for now, I'm going to turn off the star eyes. So, sparkle eyes off. We also have this toggle, which is pretty fun. I did this one the other day. And I did a cool thing with it. I did this shit yesterday. I even made it blink. So she can blink with this eye too. See? Check it out. I'm really proud of that. I think that that's really cool. It's not, like, technically it's not that impressive, but I just like the fact that it works. So. So yeah. But basically this is the point where we do have to start putting all of our toggles where they're supposed to go. Because we also have a couple more that we have to do. We have to do this one, which is the blush toggle for her face, and the dark face toggle. Both of which have to be clipped and put in somewhere. Now, I want to turn these on first so I can see. Like, you can see how they're not exactly following the topology of everything, right? So, that's what we have to fix. Because this is kind of weird. You don't want this to be happening. So we'll do these one at a time. We also have to fix, this is a different thing. But you can see where the lines on her face, these android lines that she has, are not coming all the way down her face on the different angles. So I also have to fix those. Not so much on the down angle, it's really mostly on the ups. And here even, like, this one's fine. I don't need the line to be showing outside of the bandage. But like this one here, so it's really just the one line that we need to fix. But we need to fix that on the different ones where it moves. Because you want that to be pretty consistent. So the right line. The right line will have to be fixed. But we'll get there. We're not going to do that yet. First, we're going to start... I think we'll do the dark toggle first. I'm really wondering if I couldn't just put that inside of face base XY. I don't know. We can try it and see if that works. I don't think that's going to work, though. I think it's going to have its own. But we'll see what happens when we do this. If I put it inside of here... Yeah, that's really not doing anything for it. So, dark face toggle is now going to need its own XY. Look at this. So we're going to call this dark, or maybe scary. We should call it scary. Scary XY. That's going to be it. And great. And that's going to make this, which this is way too big. We don't need it to be this big. So we're just going to shift that in so that it's only encompassing the part that we need, which is going to be the shadow on her face there. You also tend to want to, and I've been forgetting to do this on a lot of ours, but you also kind of want to make sure that this is centered. There are reasons. It's mostly for motion mirroring. It's just that none of them have really been off-centered, but that one was, so we had to fix that. But it'll mess you up when you try to like mirror. I do it sometimes when I'll put it to X and then I'll push it back. So there's that. Anyway, we're gonna XY this. Starting with the X's. This really shouldn't be too hard. Is it not dragging? Why is it not moving my topology? Oh wait, does this not have a mesh? Oh, it doesn't have a mesh. Oh, it doesn't have a mesh. Well, no wonder it's moving funky. Also, what is this? Why? Something exists on the layer here. My mess. My erase. Goodbye. Okay, here we go. Great. That's gone. Okay, so then... Oh, now it's gonna do right, isn't it? Oh, I'm silly. It just didn't have a mesh. How do the corners look? Oh, well then we're good. We don't need an XY for this. Yeah, this is fine how it is. Yeah, we're totally good here. Okay, great. So that was just wrong because it didn't have a mesh, and now it's correct. So that's actually fine. We don't have to mess with that anymore. The only thing that we need to do is I need to go down here to face base, and in the inspector panel, grab its ID, which is the same its name, and then just go here to this and clip it, so that now it's only going to be on her actual face. Yeah, that's so much better. Okay, great. Well, that was an easier fix than I thought it would be. All right, and then we're going to have the blush toggle, which is probably going to be much the same because it also doesn't have this. I wonder if this will be the same level of easy as Yep. Sure enough, looks like it's gonna be great. That's actually excellent. So the only thing again, what we're gonna do, we're gonna flip it. So now it's only going to appear on her face. And I think, don't the ears also have one? This is mostly just for me because I'll need to know, but yeah, and apparently it's been on. I haven't turned it off. Okay, so the ears also have a blush, and that will be a toggle that will turn on with that too. All the blush toggles will basically be on one toggle, I think. I don't think I'm gonna make this separate. I think I'll just put them in one. If Sketch ever wants me to change that, I can. But typically typically I think you'd want it to be on one. I think that makes the most sense. So yeah, so blush toggle face, dark face toggle is now here. Just perfect. Okay, great. That's actually excellent. So that's all where it's supposed to be then. So now let's fix the other Android line here real quick. Because this actually shouldn't be too hard. So this is going to be line XY robo. And you can see this is crazy. Like, why do we need this many? We don't. Like, not even this many. I think like maybe a 6x8 would be plenty for this. We are going to, because of how big it is, I am going to give it more control structures on the height, just so that I can mess with it a little easier. Oh dear, I don't know what that is. What did I do? Did I just take the log out? Project Art Deformer. Okay, there we go. So go back to parameter, give it keyforms, and we're just going to fix it where it breaks, which is not going to be most places, but you know, I mean, like here, it needs to stretch down a little, and we just need to double check that. But really, I think that's fine. Like it doesn't need to change like a crazy amount. It really just needs to. Hopefully it won't look like it's sliding around in her face too much. And then we'll just grab both, synthesize corners. Okay, and we will link it. I would say that's a good enough fix. So there we go. All right. Excellent. So we've done all that stuff. We can save that now. So all those parts are now done, which leaves only all the eye toggles are where they're supposed to be, and they work. You know, I might tweak them some more, but they're in there. The dark face toggle works. The other toggle works. So the only other two toggles that I have is this anger toggle up here, which also doesn't have any, and this sweat drop toggle, which I'm probably just going to put inside of head XY. But we will give them a standard mesh deformation. Like so. And then we're probably, like I said, we're probably just going to drop them in head XY. I don't think they'll need to be in anything else, because they really just need to follow the head. That should work just fine. So if we look at sweat drop, so that's kind of okay. I mean, I could put it in face. We could try face. Anger here. Okay, let's try dropping him in the face then. If I put him in face XY instead, what kind of effects do we get? Weird ones. Maybe I put them in head XY and then give them their own. But they're both basically the same. So I say we just give them both the same, and we'll call this, what would you call these? I don't know what you'd call these. You'd call these like what? Like, emotes? I guess emotes. We'll call them emotes. Emotes XY. Emotes XY seems good. They don't need to be this big. Always wants to default to this. Like, you have to change this every single time. I actually don't like the way Live2D does that. Okay. See, like, even that's a lot. Could we do, like, I don't know, maybe 12 by 10? So much better. So much better. Okay. Great. And emotes XY, we're going to go back to parameter here, and we're just going to give them the parameters and do our stuff. So I don't like how it's squashing. Like, I actually think, like, a little bit's fine, but I really want it to look more like it's moving with us. And then here, move it out some more, but then squish it some more. I think is good. Yeah, okay. Down. We'll synthesize corners from that. Okay. And then link it and check them. I'm not really going to try to fix like the weird squashing stuff that's happening. I mostly just kind of want it to follow her head a little more. And not be as deformed on this. So see, like, that progression looks fine. And then here. Yeah. So now if we were to hide one of them, so we have just the sweat drop, and it's kind of like, and this would be really fun if you paired this up with different toggles. So if you did like the surprise die, like you know, like that kind of idea, I think works really well. So that's pretty nice. Also, I should you know, I'm editing things. How do I do this? Where are my toggles? Don't I have to be here? Is it this? Is it this? Is it this one? Is it this one? Is it this one? No, I forgot my toggle controls. Hold on. I'm gonna turn Regis off for a sec, because I want to check my controls for my toggles. Don't remember what they are. There's number pad 8. Why isn't it working? There we go. Okay, I just didn't have my number pad in. Alright. I'm back. Now I have my tablet in it. Now it looks like I'm editing things. I like this better. This is better. Okay, okay. So yeah, but you could like pair it with like this, which I think is cool. And then how does anger look? Anger looks pretty good too. And you could, I don't know, that doesn't really work. You could do that with this too. Like she's annoyed. The surprise die really just works with whatever you want. You also do it with heart. It'd be fine. The cool part is, like, in VTube Studio, you can change all that yourself. So anyway, but the important thing now is that all those are working. So I think now we can move on to, because that's everything. The rest of this is body stuff. So we really, guys, we finally have most of the stuff in XYs. That's so exciting. Oh, if there was anybody here in the chat, I would say put W's there. Like, seriously, what are you guys all doing today? Nobody's here. Nobody's here. I know Marin's streaming, but Marin only has 4 viewers, which still leaves, like, so many of you as, like, not home to watch me do this. It's spring break, literally, guys. Okay, so let's see. Okay, but this is really great. So what we're gonna do now, chat, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna work on the mouth. We gotta do the mouth. So let's go back into the face, to our mouth XY, and we have all of this stuff here inside of the mouth. And I have also been given a mouth chart for how she wants this to look. So at the core of it, I more or less understand the way that mouth rigging works. But I am just going to refer to my video real quick just to kind of check on some stuff. So I'm going to go to intermission for a moment so that I can check that out, and then I'll be back, okay? All right, you guys hang tight, and I will return. Let me change the stats real quick. Okay. Yeah, I'll be right back, guys. Just chill and hang out, enjoy the music, if anybody actually shows up for this. Oh, can I not mute it? I should be able to mute it. Oh, do I have to mute it here? No, what's going on? Okay. How can I click on this? Is OBS bugged out? What in the world? Oh no, guys. I'm stuck on this screen. What? No, 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 no. What in the world? Why is it bugged out? No. No, 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 no. Oh, it's like properly bugged. Guys, we're stuck in a forever stream, and you're stuck on the starting soon screen. Okay, well. Well, here's what I'm gonna do then, chat. This is quite the issue, isn't it? What we'll do is I will kill stream for a sec, and then I'll be back once I have reviewed my video, okay? So quick intermission, 5 minutes, and we'll be back live, okay? Oh yeah, it like fully does not want to. What's system monitor? Like I've got to properly kill it.